All right, welcome everybody. It is 8 o'clock, and for some reason you guys decided to be here and not be asleep. So some people are sleeping, the sane ones, and the rest of us are here. So this session is called The Sight Reading Study Results Are In. I want to start by kind of posing this question: which is more impactful on the brain? Is it the study of music, piano in particular, or the study of mathematics? Of course, we as teachers are going to tell you it's the study of piano. And why would we say that? Well, I did a quick search on Google. Both music and mathematics significantly impact the brain, but music is often considered more comprehensive because it activates nearly every region simultaneously. Now, this is an AI review of what piano does to the brain. And I think a lot of it is really interesting. I'm going to try to put this up here. Hopefully you can still hear me. When you think about piano and what it impacts, you have 10 digits, and every one of those digits are doing something different. And your brain you have two hemispheres in the brain, the right hemisphere, the left hemisphere, and then you have a corpus callosum, which is between the two hemispheres. And they have found nothing that impacts the brain development, that corpus callosum that connects those two hemispheres, nothing more significant than the study of music, in particular piano, because you've got so many things going on with your digits, right hand, left hand. And this morning I was trying to do this, like rub my stomach, pat my head thing. And while that's a little complicated, it's nothing compared to playing individual fingers, the pinky louder in the right hand, and then left hand is softer, except for your pinky maybe needs to come out a little more to balance the sound and impact that. And your poor brain is trying to figure this out. And what it does is it builds that corpus callosum into a stronger, thicker brainwave, allowing you to do more critical thinking. And I did go to an award ceremony once. My daughter was in 7th grade, and she was getting an award for straight A's. And I went to this award ceremony. I sat there in the stadium seating, and they said, all right, and the first person come down, we're going to give you this award for straight A's. And they line up in this line, and we're just clapping. And I'm like, oh, look at that. The next person comes up. I'm like, oh, that's my student. Very cool. Like 2 of them are my students. And the next one comes up. I'm like, that's my student. That's my student. And like 15 of them were standing in a row. 9 of them were my piano students. And every single one of my piano students that were there were in that category. So right then and there I decided that piano makes you smart. Or perhaps instead it was only the smart people can play piano. So chicken or the egg, I don't know which one it is. I'm pretty sure that it not only teaches you the dexterity and the control, but it also teaches you persistence and to get through hard things and to just keep going. And that's a muscle. So I was quite impressed with what the study of piano showed there. And then, of course, I looked at some other studies, and lo and behold, there's so much studies out there that show that piano is one of the best things for the human brain and development. I know you don't want to hear this, but I did decide to ask Google this question. I'm going to just ask him right now. Is music literacy declining?
Yes, there's evidence that music literacy, which is the ability to read and understand music notation, is declining. This is happening because of digital music tools, a focus on music learned by ear, and less emphasis on traditional notation in schools.
Is that a little disturbing to you, that it is declining? And it is declining quickly. It's disturbing to me. And the decline will continue unless you and I and people who believe that music is important to study does something about it. So today, I'm excited to show you some of the things that we are doing and things that you can help. But just to give you an idea, back in the 60s, it used to be that if you didn't practice your piano, they didn't let you go eat dinner. Mom's like, you need to practice, you can't eat dinner. Nowadays, the parents will say, if you don't practice, I'm going to stop paying for your lessons. And the kids are like, all right, that sounds like a good plan. I can go play TV or I can swipe endlessly on my phone. And it's become an epidemic, and it is our cultural society that is declining. I have these kids right here. This oldest one, her name is Scarlett. Her mother came to me last Sunday and said, my daughter decided that she doesn't want to start piano lessons. I'm like, she's 7 years old. How are you letting a 7-year-old determine like her development in her life? It's like, I don't want to go to work. I'm 7 years old. I don't want to learn math. I don't want to go to school today, Mom. All right, you can stay home. And this is what's happening to our society. And so it took me 30 seconds. I told her, did you know the piano's the only thing that can develop that corpus callosum between the two brains? And her eyes started getting big. The more I explained, she's like, Scarlett, we're doing piano. We're starting next week. So I'm like, there we go. What we need is for you to educate people how valuable it is. And this has to be done through everybody in this industry. We've been riding on the backs of these Marvin Blickenstaffs who've done so much work before us, and we've been riding on their efforts and just assuming that society would just keep feeding us music students, keep feeding us music students, keep feeding us. And it's not. Like, we have to change with the time. We have to do some things that are more attractive, that pull people in. And so it's us and MTNA. MTNA is, I cannot stress how important an organization like this is to help us organize our efforts together in every part of this industry to push this. There is a really good, if you've never seen this TED Talk, please watch that and post it and repost it and repost it and get your friends to post it and the parents and everybody who believes in music, just to start spreading this out to educate people. We don't have time to watch it today, but I would like to introduce to you, today we have a lineup from the Music School of Eastman, UNT, Glendale College, and Liberty University that will be presenting today on some of the things that they are doing to inspire this next generation in the university setting. So it is my honor to introduce to you today Brad Beckman from UNT, and he will introduce his colleagues and some of the things that they are doing. Everybody give a round of applause for Brad Beckman.
Careful dance we have up here. Thank you everybody for being here so early in the morning. And it's been a lot of fun working with Aaron and his team for quite a while now. And I'm very happy to have some of my colleagues and my teaching fellows here today to share with you a little bit about what we're doing with Piano Marvel. And I just thought I'd start today by mentioning the word piano lab. For decades, we have called the Piano Lab a laboratory. And it struck me that, we really are not using the Piano Lab as a true laboratory yet. And through the addition of software like Piano Marvel, we can collect data and we can analyze data and actually create a laboratory setting in Piano Lab where we can get information about how students are learning and how they're doing, and what changes we might make to make it better. We have embarked on a national research study recently. We started it, was it 2 years ago or was it last year? I think it was last year.
2 years ago.
2 years ago we started on it. So we sort of had like a pilot study, and now we're moving into it full steam ahead. We have almost 50 schools that are interested in participating, and we're going to be collecting data from these schools. I'm going to be the principal investigator at UNT. I'm getting non-identifiable data from Piano Marvel, so I'm going to be looking at the relationship of this data, and we're going to be learning more about what happens to collegiate students, both piano majors, non-piano majors, instrumental music majors, all kinds of different categories of students, and how they learn to sight read, and how Piano Marvel is helping them develop their sight reading capabilities. So today we're going to listen to some of what is going on at our school with Piano Marvel. And I'd like to introduce my colleague, Dr. Leung Wu, and she's going to share with you a little bit about what she's doing in her piano class. Leung?
Thank you, Dr. Beckman. Hi, everyone. Good morning. I'm Lei Hyung-woo, adjunct at UNT. It's so great to be here. You know, last Saturday, I went to some sessions discussing how ensemble playing in group piano classes can be so positive for our students. It was so inspiring to hear everyone's thoughts on that. I found that when students play together, it's a total game changer. It's not just about making music, it's one of the best ways to really grab their focus and keep them motivated. They just get so much more excited when they aren't practicing alone. So I want to show you a quick video of how we actually used Piano Marvel's group play function to bring that energy into our classes. It's a great way to see that collaborative spirit in action. Let's take a look.
Hello, this is Lei Hyung-woo. I'm a faculty member at University of North Texas. I want to show you how to make piano class more exciting using Piano Marvel's group play. Instead of students practicing alone, we are going to look at how they can learn together through collaboration. Setting it up is very easy. Have the host student go to Preference, click on Group Play, and enable Show Group Play. Click the orange icon and create New Session. Now you can invite others to join with this code. The other student click the orange icon and simply enters the code to join. Now they are connected and ready to play as a team. The strength of this activity is that it transforms passive learning into active participation. When you add Piano Marvel's fun accompaniments, students get much more excited. They start talking about rhythm and notes together, which makes the piano class much more interactive.
Well, this starts when it starts 17 at 30. Oh, let's start here.
Another great feature is the Learn button. It's perfect for practicing small sections measure by measure. Since students can practice at their own pace, the teacher doesn't have to watch every single note. This builds independence and helps students master difficult parts effectively.
One, two, set, go.
One small challenging is the headphone connection. Sometimes it's hard for students to hear each other's piano clearly through headphones due to console issues. If we can solve this technical part, the group play experience becomes even more powerful. In conclusion, Piano Marvel transforms a traditional piano class into a more engaging and interactive learning experience.
Two, set.
Through the Share Score feature, teachers can easily monitor students' score and identify who may need additional support, helping create a more effective piano class. Thank you for watching.
Now I'm going to hand this mic to one of our TFs at UNT, Han and Junyoung.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Junyoung Hwang, a DMA student at the University of North Texas, and as well as a teaching fellow, and I teach group piano classes at UNT.
Hello, this is Han Im. I'm teaching fellow in UNT.
At UNT, Piano Marvel is an integral part of the group piano curriculum. It accounts for 15% of the total grades, which means the use is not optional but required. Even if a student receives perfect scores on all weekly quizzes and exams without any Piano Marvel activity, the highest score they could get is 85 out of the 100, which is a grade of B. The group piano classes at UNT, also known as keyboard skills classes, are primarily designed for non-piano majors. Many of these students are learning piano for the first time in college. For this reason, the class itself can be already feel overwhelming. As instructors, one of our responsibilities is to minimize the burden while still encouraging students to engage with Piano Marvel in a meaningful way. So today I would like to talk about how UNT group piano instructors can naturally incorporate Piano Marvel into their class time. Each semester consists of 15 weeks, including 3 exams and 12 weekly quizzes. On our quiz days, instructors must listen to each student individually, which makes it difficult to fully manage or engage the entire class at once. During this time, we ask students to work on Piano Marvel, instead of simply scrolling through their screens or becoming disengaged. Students can use this time to improve their piano skills and sight reading abilities. At the same time, they are also preparing for the sight reading portions of their exams. In particular, we encourage students to take the SESR test, which is self-assessment sight reading test, either before or after their weekly quiz. Although this may seem like an extra additional activity, but it becomes a natural part of the class's routine and helps keep students' activity engaged. And now, Han will be talking about how we use Piano Marvel in advantage ways for students.
Okay. Also, of course, Piano Marvel can complement the instructors when we are not able to fully engage to the whole class. This is particularly helpful because, as you know, sight reading is really difficult to teach in a group setting. So while group classes allow students to work toward the same goals together, they often don't address individual differences. So, but in fact, students in the same class can have very different levels of sight reading ability, and sight reading is requiring immediate processing, which means students need immediate feedback. In this case, Piano Marvel can really enhance the group class experience. It offers a wide range of difficulty levels, so each student can work at their own pace. At the same time, it provides instant feedback, allowing students to recognize and correct their mistakes right away. And not to mention, it gives students a sense of accomplishment rather than just pressure, which shows how Piano Marvel can really effectively support both individual and group learning. Thank you.
Alright, good morning everybody. My name is Wenwen Chu and I'm the teaching fellow of University of North Texas. And today I have several very important features that I think will help students to improve by using Piano Marvel. So here's the thing, instrument practice is very important and is actually a form of sensory training. So here I will focus on explaining how Piano Marvel trains students' visual and auditory skills in practice. So sight reading requires flexible visual ability, as we know. In practice, one of the biggest challenges in sight reading for students is simply stay on the right place, on the right page. Because students are very easily to get distracted, and especially after a whole long day class, they're very tired. It's very often happening in my class, like students reading, and then they jump to the next or somewhere else. So the cursor feature in Piano Marvel solved this problem by acting like a personal teacher. It guides the eye in the real time, ensuring that students is looking exactly where they need to be to make the correct response. So here I have a small example in my real class. I would like to show you guys this is how my students follow the cursor feature that I mentioned in the Piano Marvel. So we'll see this is a little blue line to guide the students to follow. Yeah, and that's a real feedback. And he got 300. So another thing that I would like to introduce is for Piano Marvel. Also, it provides a background music. This is very important because it also allows students to develop the sense of harmony while they read the score. And so I call this as auditory training in the sight reading. So students are not just hitting the right notes by looking the notes, they can also understand the score with the background music provided by Piano Marvel. Additionally, this accompaniment provides a steady sense of rhythm, which is much more natural than just counting the beats mechanically. So in this example, I have another piece that I'm gonna provide right here. This is highly suggested by Mr. Aaron. This piece, let's have a look. Oh, and by the way, If you use an iPad version to practice piano marvel, there's a little keyboard underneath here. So actually you can practice this everywhere.
1, 2, set, go.
So you will hear the synthesizer. So we have the immediate feedback, and you will also hear the synthesizers imitating the instrument, and there's also a drum set that will let students to feel the beats naturally. So in conclusion, Piano Marvel uses a cursor feature for focus and the background music for harmony and rhythm. This trains students, again, visual and auditory skills. This ensures that practicing time is efficient and leads to real improvement in the sight reading. The ultimate benefit is that students are able to truly practice, meaning they're able to build in the skills and the awareness in the same time. Thank you very much. And I'm going to give my microphone to Zhao Han. Wang, please.
Thank you, Wenwen. And my name is Zhao Han Wang, and I'm a currently fourth year DMA student at University of North Texas. And I'm going to introduce something else in Piano Marvel besides the student are doing the ICSR exercise. And I would like to introduce there are several albums in the Piano Marvel. So it's totally 18 albums. So it's start from the beginner to early intermediate and to intermediate. And the last level from 13 to 18 is for the early advanced to advanced student. So I usually do the target exercise for my students. So for example, so by the way, before that is the examples from level 1 to 18. So this basically we're doing the 5-finger pattern in the beginning, and we have the chords in root position chords. And this example from level 4 to 7 is basically they add more details on the score, like the dynamics, crescendos, decrescendos, yeah. And this is, for example, for the intermediate student. So they have more choral study, and also they have different key signature. Yeah. So this example is for the advanced student. See how difficult it is. All right. So I found most of the students, especially their major in vocalist, their major in violin, so they are struggling to read the bass clef. So in this case, the Piano Marvel can help them to practice the bass like this.
1, set, go.
Yeah, this is the first example. Another example is when they do the sight reading. The ICSR part, the sight reading on the Piano Marvel is non-stop. Even though they make mistakes, it's not gonna stop. So the better way to improve their sight reading is I will select some difficult point, like the hand position change. Like I can just only select 2 measures that let them play. So I call this is reinforcement at practice. So if you see here the examples, so, oh, I'm sorry. So, right in here. You see the left hand, they're not in the one hand position. The left hand, they're gonna move up here. So some examples like this, their hand need to move in another place. So I will ask them to practice only these two measures and repeat. So we call reinforcement practice. And here, another example is after each exercise, I can see how the student improve, and I can see their grades. So here's another example.
Rest. Yeah. And so, we have the recap.
Yeah. So the grade gonna shows in the end, right? And another interesting thing is on this album, the sight reading album, student must have like 80% score at least, and they gonna if they have 80% accuracy on the sight reading exercise, they're gonna unlock the next song. So if they made too many mistakes, or the tempo that they play is very slow, it's not the requirement tempo, they're gonna redo and until they pass that score of 80. Yeah. So the last thing I want to talk about is as a teacher, we can always track how their progress, like the score on each student. So this actually is my class number. So I can this page can show all the students' scores in different class. Right. So yeah, this is for my presentation today. Yeah. Thank you. So let's introduce two doctoral students from Eastman School. So I will play this for the introduction.
The best part I found in teaching and learning at Eastman School is, first of all, we have the marvelous faculty members. Their instructions are always so inspiring. Our school is very proactive in trying all those new technology like Piano Marvel. My name is Xinyi Zeng. I'm currently a second-year DMA in piano performance.
My name is Scarlett Zhang. I'm at the first year of my doctorate student. The best part of teaching and learning music at Eastman is that we have wonderful faculty members. People really help each other and support each other as fellow musicians instead of competing.
The first time I heard about the Piano Marvel website was from last year when we, the Eastman School of Music, started to apply the Piano Marvel as a teaching tool for all the teachers.
I heard about Piano Marvels for the first time when I started teaching during my doctorate program. My first impression of Piano Marvel before I tried it for the first time was actually great, because just by looking at it, I know how much time it would save for me as a teacher and how much time it would save for my students.
After I got more familiar with the Piano Marvel website, I found it can greatly reduce my time spending on correcting the students' wrong notes and some kind of rhythmic issues. And also I can even spend more time on talking about some other techniques, not just the basic ones, like how to effectively use their wrists, their arms.
After using the Piano Marvel for a while, I got more and more familiar with it, and I found that there are so many things to explore in the music library. I also found the SATA to be really amazing because I could track their sight reading growth, and also the students can see their growth, so it's very motivating.
Normally, teachers need to bring a lot of sight reading materials, and it might not fit everybody's level. Even though they're in the same classroom, they register for the same course. But after we try with Piano Marvel for practicing the sight reading, first of all, teachers do not need to carry that much books or materials anymore. And also the accompaniment as a background sound can help them to really focus on the music they are playing without me telling them that you need to concentrate. it can greatly change the way teachers can teach the sight reading.
So Piano Marvel kind of pushes me forward. I think the best reason that the students should use the Piano Marvel for personal practice is that they can get their mistakes corrected right on spot without having to wait for a whole week to come to my class, and I can fix it for them.
So I think this can greatly increase the amount of people who would like to try playing piano. I would say you definitely want to try this amazing teaching tool, and I promise you'll fall in love with it.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Scarlett Zhang. Hopefully you can hear me better. My name is Scarlett Zhang. I'm a first-year DMA at the Eastman School of Music.
My name is Xin Yizheng, and I'm a second-year DMA student at the Eastman School of Music.
And we are also the teaching assistant for class piano course at Eastman.
Yeah, and after watching this introduction video, I believe now you have a clear sense of how our class piano course looks like and how we utilize the technological tool to assist our teaching. And therefore, we would like to talk about our topic today, which is how does technology like Piano Marvel efficiently assist teachers' teaching?
And I'm going to start with giving you guys an overview on the two main topics that we're going to talk about. So first of all, we are going to be doing a comparison of class piano practice in the past without the technology and Piano Marvel versus in the present with the technology and Piano Marvel.
Yeah. And also, we're going to explore how sight reading challenge becomes an interest booster, serving as a motivation for both the students and the teachers.
Okay, so before Xinyi talks about what technology can do, let's take a moment to look at what typically happens in a traditional group piano classroom. So in the past, when we did not have the technology, the biggest challenge in group piano class is the difficulty is to tracking each student's progress on fundamental skills. For example, like wrong notes, incorrect rhythm, and very bad reading habits. In a typical classroom setting, we know that one teacher is always responsible for multiple students at the same time, and it's very hard to closely monitor everybody. And as a result, the common issues like these often go unnoticed until the actual class time, which is a little too late, and the students have already practiced with these wrong habits for a long time until the actual class time. So that is definitely not efficient. And secondly, in the past, a large portion of the class time ends up being spent on working on these basic mistakes. And instead of focusing on musical expression, artistry, and interpretation, teachers have to go back again and again to fix these very basic issues. And as a result of all that, the teacher's role in a traditional piano class is actually a mistake corrector.
Yeah. And now let's take a look at how things change when we introduce technology like Piano Marvel into the learning and the teaching process. First, Piano Marvel helps students correct wrong notes and rhythmic inaccuracies on their own. Instead of waiting for the teachers to point everything out, students receive immediate feedback from the automatic note checking system, which helps them build more effective and independent practice habits. Moreover, because these basic issues are addressed during practice, teachers can spend more class time on more advanced musical elements such as musical interpretation and expression, and even connections to music theory and history. And last but not least, the technology shifts the role of the teacher. Instead of spending the time primarily on correcting mistakes, the teacher becomes more of a music mentor that can guide students toward deeper understanding of the artistic expression. Now we're going to show you a picture of the amazing functions you can find on the Piano Marvel website.
Okay, so I'm going to step here. As you can see, all these green notes are the ones that they did correctly, right? And what happened to these? These are the wrong notes that they played, right? As you can see here, he actually played a D instead of C, and here he did an A instead of a B, right? So it marks everything for your students. And here, if you see these displaced notes, it means that they're doing the wrong rhythm, right? So clearly here, he did it a little late than it should, right? So it shows you everything, shows the students everything that they need to fix. Okay, hopefully so that gives you an idea about what Piano Marvel can do. And so beyond efficiency and accuracy, there's something that's equally important, and that is the motivation. So Xinyi and I want to show you how sight reading challenges on Piano Marvel can turn practice into something engaging and rewarding. So sight reading is often treated as a task for the students. So it's something that they have to do for the class instead of something that they want to do. So as a result, engagement is very low and the progress is slow because they're kind of not very interested, right? But what if we transform sight reading into something that is more interactive and even competitive?
And that's why we try the Aaron Gardner Challenge, which is a global sight reading challenge. And we found that by connecting students with others around the world, sight reading can become a game-like experience. Students are no longer practicing in isolation. Instead, they are practicing, comparing, and challenging themselves in a global community. And this shift is so powerful. And also, that's a very good example of a great saying that interest is always the best teacher. Another exciting aspect is the global ranking system. Students and even teachers can see how they compare with others around the world. This not only motivates students, but also gives recognition to teachers and their studios, making their work visible on a much larger scale.
Okay, so I'm going to show you guys what we actually mean. So here is what happens when they when they did a great job on a song. They get a golden ticket. So it's not like an actual prize, but it is like an electronic trophy that they get to win after they did well on the song, right? And this definitely gives them motivation. They want to keep going, to get more golden tickets, right? To get more rewards. And here is what my student did. So he already got 42 tickets, which is great, right? And now he ranks 771 on the world ranking. So he's doing a great job, and I hope that he goes even further. Okay, so after talking about all these benefits brought by technology and Piano Marvel, we believe as fellow teachers, we all share the same concern. Is technology going to replace teacher?
And our answer is definitely no. Instead, we strongly believe that technology and teachers can each do what they do the best. Technology can assist with practice, offering precision, consistency, and immediate feedback. Teachers, on the other hand, bring artistry, creativity, and human connection into the music making. And when we combine both, we create a more effective and inspiring learning experience. Therefore, we'd like to conclude our presentation by these 3 sentences. Let's have technology
assist the practice,
and let's have teachers
inspire the artistry,
and together
they make music education sing.
Thank you very much.
For listening.
And now it's my great honor to introduce Ms. Kim Wet from the Liberty University.
Good morning, everyone. Let me put this in my pocket. It'll be much easier. Okay, I just want to share briefly what we do at Liberty University. We started using Piano Marvel back in 2022, so it's been about 4 years. We have a lot of students who are commercial music majors. They have extremely developed ears. They do not know how to match that pattern vocabulary for either melodic contours, harmonic progressions. rhythmic progressions. They don't know how to match that with what they see in a score. So we incorporated that because we have between 15 to 17 sections per semester of group piano, and I manage that area. So during the first week of classes, all of our new students are assessed with a SASR test, just to figure out where they are, because some students actually do have more experience at piano than they think. If that's the case, I'm going to move them into a higher level of group piano. And all levels of class piano have required weekly sight reading, 3 different days a week. So a SASR test, you are going to play, if you complete the full session, you're going to play until you get 3 X's. If you get less than an 80% on a piece of music, it's going to give you an X. You get 3 of those, it's going to kick you out and give you a score. And I'm looking for that score 3 different days of the week. We have had great success because we have consistent sight reading, and consistent sight reading gives consistent growth. We have our music majors reaching a benchmark of 565 by the end of the 4th semester. If they don't meet that naturally through Piano Marvel, then they need to meet with me in my office. And they do not want to do that. They work really hard so that they don't have to meet with me in my office. Now, everyone plateaus. It's typically skill-based. There's a technical skill they have not built yet. When that happens, we go to something called the methods section. And if they're stuck at a 500, which is very typical, there's just a plateau that happens between 500 to 520, I'm going to have them work in methods, 5A to 5C. And typically, if they can get 80% or more in that section, it will automatically boost their score. Every student who has tried that and been successful has been successful with it. So I'll have them actually read for 2 weeks. That's give me 2 weeks of your time. I want you to work in methods one day, then I want you to work and do your sight reading the next. Give me 2 weeks of that, and you will exceed that. You'll go over that class ceiling. So we use the methods section during times of plateau, and it works really well for most of the students. My observations over, using this application, it gives student ownership of sight reading. It makes it easier for me, absolutely. But for our professors and our TAs, we've seen that as adult learners need to have control. They need to be able to make choices. It gives us more choice in the classroom to give them more choices on the repertoire and the things that they want to present. And it highlights the importance of music literacy for all majors. Like I said, most of our majors, we have probably 55% that come in and they're commercial music majors or worship majors, and they have such developed ears, but they don't read well. The other 45% or so are music education and or performance majors. They read well, but have a hard time with an improvisation thing. But it also gives us a standardized system for learning and assessment. It's really been a game changer for us, and it really has been wonderful to see the students gravitate towards it. Now I'm going to show you a couple of graphs, because I'm a graph kind of person. This is what's going on at Liberty for this year. These are our students who just started this semester, and they didn't start sight reading until February. We started classes in January. And they started with a group average of 236, and they're sitting around 304, which is not terribly bad, actually, considering. Those are our first semester students. Our second semester students, we're still showing in a monthly graph. They typically start around the same area, somewhere in the 200s. And they had a little bit of a dip here in December, typical because we went on winter break, and a slow transition upwards, but now they're sitting pretty much right before spring break in the 376 area. So we have seen traditional growth over time for the students who are doing what I asked them to do. These are my rock star students. This is going to a quarterly system. These students are already sitting at a 491 before we went on spring break. Probably, I would say 25% of those students in those classes will hit the benchmark by the end of the semester. If they're doing well with harmonization and improvisation, which is very important for us in our majors, I will move them into private lessons. Now, you always have a group of students, and this is the group of students. They don't do what I ask them to do. So They probably started really here in quarter two, but it's really in between quarter one and quarter two of 25. And they're hovering. You'll see that they've grown, but they really haven't really grown too much between quarter four of last year and the first quarter of this year. And that's because they don't do what I ask them to do. I ask them to sight read 3 different days a week, full session. And for those students who do, we've seen exponential growth, and music literacy becomes something real for them and something tangible, something that they actually can do. That's what we do at Liberty, short and sweet. And I am going to introduce to you Dr. João Paulo Casarati from Glendale Community College.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. I'm João Paulo Casarati. I teach at Glendale Community College in Arizona. This is my 4th semester there. And I also teach at Arizona Music Fest, groups for older people. I have 3 groups and a piano ensemble class. So I'm going to show a little bit of what I have been doing using Piano Marvel on my classes on both Glendale and Arizona Music Fest. So at Glendale Community College, we use Piano Marvel for all the activities in our group classes. I have group piano 1, 2, 3, and 4. So weekly we have some, students have booklets of assignments that are, I take from the library, from Alfred, from Piano Marvel method, and lots of other materials. So weekly they have to complete by Friday a booklet. And they also have to take 1 sight reading test. And it's 50% of their grade assignments per week is the booklet, the other 50% is the sight reading. So then we have a midterm and a final exam. I don't give the tests. I used to do those video tests, and it would be weekends grading everybody. So with Piano Marvel made my life so much easier. So I usually put a midterm booklet and a final booklet. Students have to complete up to 80% the grade on that, and then I just test them individually, and I just give them feedback. So we're not the bad guys anymore. You know, I used to be the bad guy, so now I'm the good guy. They're the one that helps students. So they're much more motivated. They're much more working there on. So we also do ensemble playing. I will show some examples then in my presentation. And I want to show you a little bit of the reports too. So these are some of the booklets that I created, some of them, but there's a lot more for each class. And then I have a pattern books where I put it, all the material, vocal warm-ups, where's the application of patterns basically. Folk songs, where they play several folk songs from different countries in different keys and different patterns of accompaniment. And then I have ensembles, and then I also have lead sheets. So these have been really powerful. I've spent a lot of... Now comes the trick spot. For them, you know, anyway, do I have time to show the reports or not? Yeah. Okay. So, and this is interesting. I'm going to show briefly the reports, the way this is so helpful for us. The first report I want to show, first I can't show the name of the students, but please don't cause trouble to me. These are the booklets. Group Piano 1 that we have it. And they're supposed to have 80%. And look at this. They all aim weekly at 100%. So I look at this number every week. So then we have here the booklet for midterm. You see, this is one of my classes, 131, is Group Piano 1. So everybody except one student is not doing really hot here. The other report is, this is amazing. These are the older people I teach. I want you to take a look. Look in February, like every day they're practicing. You see this? And now you go under here, my college kids. See? So, but that's okay, because they know what they're doing. So we spend a lot of time teaching how to do it. But it's just incredible how many the time that they're spending in, the access that we have with this. So this is all what we do in class. We motivated them, and then the app also helps a lot. And I want to thank Aaron and his family. This company is amazing. And if you haven't tried, please do. Thank you.